Janesville, welcome to Park Place Views, brought to you by the City of Janesville and JATV Media Services. I'm Maggie Darr, Management Information Specialist for the City of Janesville. This monthly program aims to keep Janesville residents informed by highlighting the people, places, events, and partners of the City of Janesville. On last month's episode, we spoke with Janesville Area Convention and Visitors Bureau Executive Director Christine Rebout about the JACVB's role in promoting Janesville as a prime visitor destination. If you're interested in viewing past episodes of Park Place Views, they're available to watch on the city's website or JATV's YouTube channel. On this month's episode, we'll be turning the camera on our friends here at JATV, giving you a glimpse at the people behind the cameras, the work that they do, and the services they provide to our community. JATV is Janesville's premier local access television station and provides a great service to our residents. This summer, they celebrated their 20th anniversary of providing local public education and government broadcasts to Janesville. In 2017, their small staff budgeted to record 275 events that are broadcast on Charter Channel 994 and YouTube. Much of that filming is done on location of the events and meetings, but some filming and all of the post-production occurs right here in JATV's studio, which is located in Hedberg Public Library. Today, we're going to sit down with Director of JATV Media Services, Alan Luckett, to learn more about JATV. Alan was hired as Director of JATV in July of 2016. Before that, he was the Station and Media Manager for the City of Whitewater's community television station since 2000. Alan has a bachelor's degree in film and video from Columbia College of Chicago. Both Alan and another JATV staff member, Tina Breeze-Wallers, are board members for Wisconsin Community Media. Thanks for being here, Alan, and giving our viewers an opportunity to learn about JATV.
Thanks for having me.
So first, can you tell us a little bit about your staffing? How many people work here, and what do they do for JATV?
Well, I'm one of two full-time staff. We have Tina Breeze-Wallers, who actually does the production coordination. She programs what airs on our channel and also posts TV guide listings to the newspaper to be able to reach out to the community. We also have two half-time positions. One's actually available, so if people are interested in applying, they could and are into production, they should consider applying through the city's website. We also have, right now we're kind of on the cusp of two interns. We have one that's going to be leaving, going off to college, and another one who will be starting up here in the next couple of weeks. And her name's Gloria Heiss, and Rachel Linty is the other employee who's the intern who's going to be leaving, going off to college. And right now, half-time people, we have Zach Stricker, so you might have heard the Stricker name around town, involved in radio production. So that's who we have on our crew. We got a real great crew.
Okay, great. So it's really a small staff, and you do a lot. How are your operations funded?
We're funded through franchise fees. The money actually is taken in by the city, and the franchise fee is a lease of right-of-way to the cable operators. So Charter comes in, decides they're going to furnish a service to the community. Therefore, they have to dig up yards. They have to put in poles, or wire up the poles, wire to people's houses. And so in order for them to come into the community, we have what's called a franchise fee or a franchise agreement, and there's a fee that's usually put in place that's actually, the Federal Communications Commission has nationally said 5% of that revenue would come back to the community. So that 5% that comes back to us, actually one out of that 5% goes to our operations, which is about $175,000 a year, and the other portion ends up going back to the city.
Okay. And I mentioned earlier that you record about 275 local events and meetings each year. So what kind of programming does that typically include?
Well, we're considered a public education and government access TV channel. So on the public end of things, it's a lot of church services that we do, or a handful of church services. And we also will have some people submit stuff to us. Some of it might actually be political programming, and so we have to be very, very open to whatever is brought to us. So there's no biased, opinions regarding political stance or whatever for our station. So we're really open to the community as a whole. On the education end of things, we haven't done much with the school district, But we have done a lot of stuff with URock, and we've done some stuff with Blackhawk Tech. Other than that, on the government end of things, if you consider the library of the government, although we are underneath the government, we do a lot of community programming through the library. We also do some government meetings, City Council, Plan Commission, Community Development Authority, and also alcohol license. So all those things are very important to the community as we're seeing moving forward. So those are some of the things that we do, but the variety, the list is ever expanding.
Okay. So yeah, you, as you say, you add a very valuable service to us in our interest of being an open government. But you mentioned that the public can submit different programming opportunities and you have to be bias-free. But are there any regulations on what programming you can and can't produce?
Well, in truth, the city of Janesville and other communities across the state that have charter communication as their service, well, AT&T kind of overlaps with their services, and so AT&T wanted to get a franchise agreement with the entire state, or at least their area that they work in when they brought in their UVerse system. And when they did that, they ended up creating a statewide franchise agreement. And in doing the statewide franchise agreement, Charter had to sign on to it, and then so everybody was locked into a 5% for the region. Normally in the good old days, a community would have an exclusive franchise agreement with the cable operator in order to, have them come in and do business. Now we're in a statewide one. Well, when that one was put in action, Governor Doyle signed off on it. When he signed off on it, he actually scratched some information in there that was regarding advertising or commercial advertising. So actually we could, if we wanted to, with the blessing of the city, actually do commercial advertising if we wanted to. So we're not really tied down by, any means of what we can program. We are very conscious of stuff that is copyright. So we really want to kind of steer away from the copyright stuff. We don't want people to come in and use their favorite record as their background music for their show. We'd rather have them use canned music if we can. But we do film a lot of concerts, and there are some copyright agreements that Charter has control over that allow us to have some of that original origination of content. So when we film a concert out in the park, we don't have to worry about the concerns and copyright issues. But I mean, outside of copyright, we're pretty open to just about anything.
Great. Yeah, those copyright issues, most people watching at home don't even think about that, but it's good to see. So just curious, what are some of your favorite programs to film every month, with the exception, of course, this wonderful program, Park Place Views?
Yeah, we really enjoy, at least I really enjoy recording anything that has music involved in it, because you have to kind of stretch your expertise on how do I capture the sound, how do I make it sound good and entertaining for the community. Anytime it's involving more than 2 cameras, it makes it a little bit more exciting and engaging. And I'm hoping that moving forward we'll get more people tuning in and watching those type of programs. But also like the jazz concerts, the Beloit Janesville Symphony Orchestra, filming over at JPAC is fantastic at the Performing Arts Building, and they're right next door. So I really enjoy filming at that location, and their staff is very helpful with helping with the audio feed into our production equipment. So those are some of the things that we enjoy filming here.
So that's what you like the most, but what would you say are the most popular programs with the public, and really how do you measure that?
Well, I'd say anything that's going to have kids in it is obviously going to become a popular thing. We found out recently, and just looking at some of the stats that we have with regards to YouTube, because that's the easiest way to measure it, is our YouTube accounts. We generally get anywhere from a half a dozen to a dozen different views per program that we end up uploading, where people actually view the program. But one of the more popular ones that we put up just about a week ago was William Shakespeare As You Like It, and it was performed in Milton. And since that had a big cast and a big following and family members shared it, next thing you know, within a week we had 64 hits. So that's kind of an indicator. Janesville Art League, anytime you end up with an organization that would do some kind of a link from our video to their Facebook page is obviously going to end up increasing our viewership. And they had 17 just within the past couple of weeks. We do a cooking show that has 15, so the Anita's New Kitchen, which is actually produced by Tina, one of our staff members. And she posts that also on her Facebook page, Anita does, so that helps with exposure to the show. And of course, Park Place views, I mean, there's a couple dozen views that have happened over the past couple of weeks, so that gives you an indicator of kind of where we're at with our programming. With regards to the government, there are just views, and I'm not sure if it's always just seeing the link or seeing a clip of it or actually watching the entire program, but when it comes to the government end of things, there's a lot of viewing that happens with just through the Granicus system on the city's website, which could be more than 50,000 clicks to those images. So, and that's annually. So we do get a lot coming through on that. So content-wise, it really depends upon the program and whether somebody links it back to their Facebook page and uses social media to help promote it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'd like to see those numbers be even higher. You know, this is great local stuff with people you might know, and so it's, you know, important to stay informed about what's going on in your community, so it's a good service that you provide. And so you talked a little bit about your YouTube channel. Do you post all of your programs there, and have you seen over time that outlet grow in terms of popularity?
We do post basically everything. Rarely will we post something, you know, somebody would have to stipulate if we were filming it, let's say here at the library, and said, okay, well, you know what, I'm using an advertising arm, I don't want to end up using you, you know, so we have to respect that. But most of the stuff that we do film does end up on YouTube. And yeah, it's constantly growing because it's, you know, when you start looking at the cost for people to access content through their cable service or their AT&T UVerse service or whatever it may be, it can be quite costly on a monthly basis. And sometimes it's a lot cheaper to come to a public place with a public Wi-Fi like a Hedberg Public Library and actually be able to access all this video content for basically free. So yeah, people are starting to move more towards that, you know, and sharing it.
Okay. So just let's say you record, for instance, a 1-hour program here at the library. How much time and what tasks go into the post-production that gets it ready to go on TV?
It all depends upon the project. I mean, some things are a lot easier to produce than others. If we're just going out with one camera and filming an event, it's a matter of sweetening up the audio, cleaning it up, adding some titles on throughout the program, titles in, titles out with the information. So sometimes those things can just take, you know, a couple of hours outside of the actual filming to prepare and get ready. But every time we end up filming something, there's a setup and there's a teardown as well as the recording of the event. So for example, Main Street Entertainment, which we filmed over in the Courthouse Hill Park area, we filmed that with 3 cameras. We ended up using an audio recorder that would record up to 6 channels of audio individually so that we could grab the best sound from different places, whether it be off the sound system that the entertainers use or placing microphones in key places, and also would be able to pick up the audience. And with something like that, which is only an 1.5-hour performance, we're dealing with actually an 1.5 hours times 3 cameras plus the audio, and now we have to cut in between those things and make something out of that video content. And sometimes production on something like that could take, you know, anywhere from 4 to 5 hours. So then you have still that hour to set up, maybe half an hour to tear down, because half of it's thinking of the process, how are you going to set this thing up? So you got 4 hours wrapped in there, you got another 5 hours wrapped in there. So it can be 9 hours on just one individual project that you end up filming. Plus you're also counting in the 2 to 3 people that are working, you know, staffing hours in order to film those events. So it's a considerable amount of time for some projects. Some projects are a lot easier. It all depends upon how much you want to have it shine. Another one would be a kind of an interesting example is Rec Wrap, which we do with Shelley Slapek, which kind of highlights what's coming up in the month for the Recreation Department. That is basically only about a 6 to 9 minute recording in front of our green screen, but we have to add all the clips and all the titles and all that stuff on top of it. And even though it took us only 6 minutes to record, it might take us 2 to 3 hours to produce something that's slick enough to put on the air.
That's good perspective, and just makes it that much more impressive that with a small staff you guys do get so much put out. So residents can watch your programming on Charter Channel 994 and YouTube, but there's also more opportunities to get involved too, correct? So if individuals or groups have program ideas, can they use your services to make their own shows?
Oh, absolutely. You can produce stuff with your own equipment if you wanted to and bring it in. We can help you kind of convert it from one format to another in order to get it into our system. That's one way of doing it. Some church services submit their stuff that way. We have one gentleman that does a lot of filming with U-Rock, and so he'll literally film and then bring in the recording on a chip, and then we would end up adding in titles and ins and outs for that. But people can create their own show. There have been some submissions, like I said earlier, with the related to some stuff that were happening politically, in downtown Janesville, and we're perfectly okay with promoting that kind of stuff. But yeah, if anybody has a non-for-profit group or kind of the .org people, as I refer to them as, the people that really don't have the funding to be able to hire a production crew to come in and film their event, they should really contact us, because we can help them get their message out, even if it's just a matter of putting a PowerPoint on our TV channel as a commercial advertisement in between, to promote an upcoming event. Or if they want to get into producing stuff, we can check them out equipment in order to do so. And we have some equipment that's a lot easier to work than our high-end industrial cameras. So the equipment isn't that intimidating. It might be a matter of just opening a door and pushing a record button, and they're recording. But yeah, if they want to get into doing something a little bit more intense, they can talk with us and we can see if we can figure out something. And that's where volunteers, if you can get some people that are interested in helping you with the production, then you can get volunteers behind the cameras and assist with it. So the more help, the better. And we do have several editing working stations. So if somebody films something and they want to brighten it up, we can show them how to edit and use our facilities here with the computers that we have on hand.
Okay. So something, you mentioned Anita's Kitchen and the church groups, but what are some of the other local programs that residents or community groups currently broadcast on JATV?
We did a piece recently called Project Maria, which was talking about eating disorders. So that was one group that came forward and talked with us. Another one that we worked with in the past has been the YWCA. We filmed a lot of stuff for them, at least on an annual basis. League of Women Voters will do candidate debates. We love those because that's an honest look at who you're going to be voting for in the upcoming election. We've done stuff with Crop Hunger Walk, Janesville Art League. Those are some of the nonprofits that have aired stuff on our channel. We've either assisted with them with the production, or they might have created some content to share with us. But yeah, we want to beef it up more. We want to do more stuff in the community. So like I said, we want to encourage the people that are the nonprofits and those groups to come forward, or even the people that are involved in the arts that want to be able to share. We're looking forward in that direction too for upcoming possibilities.
Cool. So you mentioned volunteers, and if residents are interested in learning more about our local television station, are there opportunities for them to access and train with JATV's equipment, maybe as volunteers?
Oh, absolutely. And we can walk them through. I mean, they don't have to be intimidated by the equipment, so we'll kind of guide them through the whole operation of the equipment. And if they're helping out with, like, let's say it's a concert event, then we'll put them on camera and show them how to work with the camera, and if they have hang-ups, kind of flag us down, and then we'll come in. I mean, we'd rather have the the education on the front end than end up looking at the video footage afterwards and going, oh my gosh, how are we going to fix this? But I mean, we got some stuff that's coming up in the near future. I'm going to be working with the Innovation Center, kind of highlighting some stuff that's happening down at the Innovation Center so people know what's going on there, since they are getting some funding and grant money and they're considered part of our government. It's your tax dollars at work, so we want to help showcase them. Rock County Historical Society, we're just getting stuff working with them. We want to do some digital storytelling with them, some short, like 3-minute to 5-minute short stories. So if there's some senior community members out there that have a great story, or even young people have great stories about Janesville that they want to share, highlights, we can help them produce that little story and then share it with the larger community. We all have also talked with Voight Music doing a Friday local feature. So we might be filming some upcoming bands, because bands have approached us about, hey, can we film something in the studio? And filming in the studio, if you look at the studio, it doesn't look like a stage. You know, it'd be much more exciting seeing it on stage. And Voight wanted to do a partnership with us on that. So that would give us a sound engineer to help mix and record the audio portion of the performances, and it's kind of us come in with some cameras and make it happen. And if volunteers want to get involved with that, that'd be fantastic, because then, you know, then they'll help kind of make that music machine move forward and highlight local acts as they perform around the community.
That's very cool. So Alan, I recall that when you were first hired, one of your primary goals was to expand those partnerships that you just talked a little bit about between JATV and other entities within the community. Can you talk about some other of those partnerships that have happened?
Well, I think, well, kind of rewinding back to the significant things that kind of have happened in the past. I mean, we're kind of, you know, ramping up to the new. So it's the background, getting all the pieces in play. For example, with the Rock County Historical Society. I think the biggest thing for us, or the one hurdle that we have, is trying to figure out those nonprofits that need the most help. Keeping in mind that not, you know, the people that they are helping, you know, they're basically, a lot of people that they're helping don't have access to the media like a lot of our viewers might, you know, at home. They can watch it on Charter. Some people can't afford those things. So, I mean, in outreaching with the nonprofits, we would like to almost help them find the people that might want to donate to their organization or get involved with participating in their organization. So that's kind of how I would like to kind of see things going. I mean, yeah, people can access them on a free Wi-Fi area, but I think a majority of our audiences are the people that already have cable access or are online quite a bit. And that would be the way to benefit the nonprofits. But I think looking forward to doing some work with the Historical Society is going to be a big thing, because I really think we need to, as a local community television channel, promote local history and preserve local history, because there's so many of those, you know, stories that you hear Grandpa tell over and over and over again. Oh my gosh, here's that story that, you know, we've heard that one before. But it'd be a great snippet to grab and share with the larger community, especially if it's somebody rewinding and talking about, you know, past history, you know, Parker Penn history, you know, GM history. There's so much rich history here that we need to preserve now while we still have the means to do so. Great.
Yeah, I'm sure that's right in line with the Historical Society's vision too, so great opportunity for partnership. So changing topics a little bit, each year JATV submits programs to Wisconsin Community Media's Video Festival. Can you tell us a little bit about that awards program?
I'm really connected to that awards program because for the past several years I actually freelanced as the producer of the actual video presentation. So I've been involved with that. So I've actually seen just about more than half of the videos that were submitted to the contest I have seen. You know, so that's over 150 different videos from different communities all across the state. The neat thing about it, and Janesville participates, our TV channel participates as a judging site. So we get a lot of the content from the other communities. They make sure that we don't judge our own stuff. You know, so we'll cover a certain area that we didn't submit anything to. So it gives us an opportunity to see the quality of work that's out there on a statewide level. And I'd have been involved with judging not only in Whitewater, but also here, going back to the early 2000s. I actually helped Judy Neese when she was the director here. She asked me if I wanted to come in and judge some videos for the video festival, and so I drove down to Janesville and actually got a chance to be in JATV back in like 2002, 2003, and helped judge some videos here at the video festival. So it's something that I've seen over the years. We've submitted stuff. We've won some awards, and the award levels, they're outside of not getting an award. They have awards of merit, and then a step up from that would be an award of achievement. We got several achievement awards this year, and in the past we've had some excellence awards. And keeping in mind that it has everything to do from the quality of the recording to the content and whether it reaches out to the community or not. And there's so many different categories we could, do this in. And I think after having our stuff judged last year with a lot of new staff, they got a feel for, okay, what are we not doing good enough? And at the same time, judging allows us to see the quality of work that's happening on a state. And keep in mind that we're not creating stuff that has 5 minutes worth of credit rolls at the end of the program. There's usually like 2 to 3 people that are involved, maybe even sometimes one, that are producing it. So it's really nice to get an award and get recognized for a lot of effort on a minimal staff, and people do it all across the state.
Right, that's very cool. Something you started and finished and getting recognized for it. Mm-hmm. So JATV also has a very active presence on Facebook and Twitter. So here's your chance to plug it. Why should residents follow you on social media?
Well, it gives them an idea of what's coming up on our channel to view. So it shows them the TV guide listing, and also gives them a flag of, hey, this video is out there, they can watch it. And they can watch it at any time they want to. I mean, in a society where we used to, ride our bikes to a payphone to call home, now we've got instant access to content anywhere and everywhere. The beauty of having that social media allows people to see it on their own time, anytime they want to, share it with a larger audience instead of having to invite somebody over and plug a DVD in. So I mean, that's all the benefits of social media. It helps promote yourself, it helps promote your groups if you're promoting a group. In the future, it could help promote a band that's going to be playing locally in the community, saying, hey, watch our video is online, Main Street Entertainment, it's scary, So those things kind of help promote those artists and help promote a rich community. Great,
I would agree with that. Well, Alan, we're getting short on time, but do you have any closing thoughts for our viewers at home?
Yeah, I think the thing is the our channel allows you to see local government. Local government at work. People are paying taxes. You pay so many tax dollars a year, and a chunk of it goes to the federal government, a chunk goes to the Wisconsin government, but the Wisconsin government, it does get divvied up amongst the communities as well as amongst the state government. But in order to see your tax dollars really at work and be able to participate in it, that's where you're seeing your local government. And that's the beauty of our channel is you get to see the money that you are paying in your property taxes being used towards your school district, being used towards programs within the community, being used for improving roads, doing all this infrastructure work, fire and rescue, police department. I mean, all those things you're seeing on our channel. So it gives you an idea of where your tax dollars are going, making you feel more confident on what's going on within your community. And if you feel concerns, you'll know who to address, because we're helping educate you on what's out there in the community. And I have to say, with the crew back there, they do a fantastic work that helps get that message out to our larger audience. I mean, Zach has suffered through city council meetings that are longer than 6 hours long, so.
It's not suffering when you're having a good time, right, Zach?
But the beauty of it is that people got up and they voiced their opinion. That's why that meeting was so long. They got up, they knew how important their voice was in their community. And the beauty of it is that we are the showcase to allow people to see that information again and again, so that they feel more confident. The people that represent them have more confidence in their people. So if anything, watch government, watch local government. It may be a little boring sometimes, but there's a lot of important information that's out there, and hey, it's your tax dollars going. You got a problem, there's somebody that'll listen to you. And people need to be aware of that. And I think with the local TV channel, it allows people to better understand what's happening within our local government community.
Yes. Preach, Alan. That's what I'm all about. Yeah, and I think it makes people just feel more connected too. It's not this, behind the curtain wizard. It's people in your community that care about their community, and we're all just trying to mutually do our best to make it the best place to live.
Yeah,
So.
we're not the Wayne's World TV channel, you know. We could be, you know. We do have some time in the late night. If anybody really wants to produce their own crazy show, they're more than welcome to do so. But yeah, we're trying to reach out to the community, and I think as we start moving forward with some of these other projects, getting, you know, beefing up the entertainment, sharing more history, I think people are going to be tuning in more often.
Great. So if anyone has questions that they'd like to ask you or follow-up information, how can they get in contact with you and JATV in general?
Well, if they wanted to see us in person, we're located in the Hedberg Public Library, and we're actually on the ground floor. There's a place called the Ground Floor Coffee Shop, and so people can come in and get a snack there, and the administrative doors are just behind the coffee shop, and that's where our offices are. You just look up and you'll see a sign hanging from the ceiling, or ask somebody for some directions. We're generally open from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. We do work some odd hours too, but administrative offices are generally open at that point in time. Other than that, people can contact us through info@JATV.org, or they can call us and talk to one of our staff at 608-758-5823.
Thank you, Alan, for your time today and letting our viewers learn a little bit more about JATV. And as always, thank you and your wonderful staff for all the hard work in bringing this and other great local programs to our community. And thank you, viewers at home, for tuning in. Next month, we'll be talking to the School District of Janesville's new superintendent, Steve Pufall, and introducing him to the Janesville community. In addition to tuning into this program on a monthly basis, you can stay connected to the City of Janesville by following us on Facebook or Twitter. You can also sign up to receive our email blasts with our press releases and other important information. And you can subscribe to get emergency alerts from the Janesville Police Department on Nixle. For Park Place Views and the City of Janesville, I'm Maggie Darr. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next month.